Let's go over to the NFC West. Detroit and the Rams swapping quarterbacks. So Matthew Stafford has his first season in Cali. Arizona's got J.J. Watt and A.J. Green looking for a resurgence. Jimmy G, still the guy in San Francisco, but here's another situation where we could see a drafted quarterback come in there. And then there's Seattle. So give us the top storyline for you in the NFC West here, Emery.
No disrespect. So Matt Stafford going to the Rams, and is he going to be a difference maker, or is he just a stronger arm version of Jared Goff? Because if you look at Goff's career in LA, it's been solid. And if you look at the numbers that Matt Stafford has, and a lot of those things they compare to what they had in Jared Goff. And I just can't get past the 8-67 against teams with winning records. And I know quarterback wins aren't a stat, but it seemed like the ones that consistently win are what we consider good quarterbacks. So 8-67 against teams with a winning record. I hope this works out for Matt Stafford and the Rams, because he could rewrite his career on the back end of it. But I just think they got a stronger arm version of Jared Goff. So I'm fascinated to see how this plays out.
Yo, Emery, I'm right there with you. The biggest storyline for me is how much better will Matthew Stafford make the Rams? I'm right there with you, all valid points. Jared Goff might not blow you away with his individual talent, but they won with Jared Goff under center. They won divisions. They got to a Super Bowl appearance with Jared Goff. So when you bring in Matthew Stafford, who we all would say he's a better talent at the quarterback position than Jared Goff, the expectations go up. They go up a few notches, and he needs to deliver. And for the very, very first time in Matthew Stafford's career, the expectations are high. He is expecting to win. They expect to win. They expect to not just compete for a divisional title, but compete for a championship, especially when you look at the players they have on the defensive end and Sean McVay and his staff. But how much better will he make them? Because anything less than what Jared Goff was able to do is a disappointment for Matthew Stafford in the Rams.
Make it a clean sweep, because this will be the storyline of this division. And it'll be one of the bigger storylines of the entire NFL with Matthew Stafford on the Rams now. Sean McVay, one of the brilliant offensive minds, and gets Jared Goff into the Super Bowl against New England and comes up just short. Has a quarterback in Jared Goff who was pretty consistent, near the top 5 in passing yards. And he says, you know what? That's not good enough. Now, I am more bullish on the Rams and more bullish on Matthew Stafford than either one of you two, because I am a believer that Matthew Stafford's intangibles, not only the cannon for an arm, but the intangibles will elevate this team. I do think you got to trust a team and Sean McVay, and looking at Jared Goff, he's laid back, he's been young, he's a Cali kid. Like, I think his laid back persona and leadership style irked Sean McVay, who's high energy, wants to, really take things, type A personality. I think he wanted somebody to come in and take over the reins, take a little bit more of a leadership role, and I think they have that in Matthew Stafford. But that pressure is all on the Rams, because it's not only on Matthew Stafford, it's on the front office who decided to make this move, so it better be better.
Yeah, in terms of the odds, this one of the tightest divisions in the league. So how do you see it playing out here, B-Mac?
Man, I've been back and forth when you look at this division, because it will be a sticky division between the Rams, between the San Francisco 49ers. I think the 49ers will be a talented team, but I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams, because I do believe Matthew Stafford will deliver. You pair him up with an ideal play caller in Sean McVay, they're going to make a lot of magic out there in La La Land. And then when you transition to the defensive side and the baddest man on the planet, a guy that trains with knives, Aaron Donald is a bad man. He has another bad man in the secondary. You got Leonard Floyd, who had an outstanding season a year ago. That defense will be better than what we saw last year. So when you combine all of those aspects in a very, very sticky division, I do believe the Rams will come out on top.
All right, every year not every year, but quite frequently, there is a team that goes from worst to first within their division. So I was trying to find one. Guess who was worst in this division last year? The San Francisco 49ers. Guess who had injuries last year? The 49ers. Guess who has been a proven winner just a couple years ago? The 49ers. I think they get back on track this year. I think Trey Lance is a superstar in the making, and I'm starting to buy into some of the social media highlights that are coming out from training camp. I'm not a long-term believer in Jimmy Garoppolo, and I don't know how long he holds on to this job with a defense that's healthier and a supporting cast that will take some of that pressure off of a rookie quarterback. I think Trey Lance bursts on the scene, and I think the 49ers take this division.
You know, I think the third time is a charm for Arizona, and I like them to win this division. I think what we're going to see up front on the offensive line, much better up front. The run game, look for Chase Edmonds to get over 1,200 yards rushing. The Fordham tailback is finally the starter. I think he's going to do a phenomenal job. We know what they have out on the perimeter in DeAndre Hopkins, and we've seen the Cardinals get better every year. They won 5 games in Cliff Kingsbury's first season. Second year, they won 8. This year, with a better offense and defensively, their front 7 should be able to smother teams along the line of scrimmage. You got J.J. Watt, who played a full 16-game season last year quietly. You bring in two inside linebackers and Zaven Collins in the first round. And last year, you had Isaiah Simmons. Those 2 guys are athletic matchup pieces. You have Budda Baker on the back end. And oh, by the way, you have Chandler Jones as of now in Arizona. So I think their defense will be much better than advertised. So I think right now, on a complete team basis on both sides of the ball, I like the Cardinals.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.